Happy Saturday. Just waiting for some people to come. I need you to all to let me know if you can hear me because I have my new microphone hooked up and I need to know if it's working right. If not, I will unhook it and just use the microphone from my computer. So I guess I'm just waiting for some people to come. We went from way too hot of temperatures to fall today. It is quite chilly out today, hence my sweater. Oh, and my cup of tea. So, yep, 100 degrees yesterday, and I don't even think we got up to 75 today, which is nice, but this evening it is chilly, and it was damp. We had a lot of rain. That wasn't forecasted. It rained like crazy here today, but now the sun is out. So, it's showing me I have one in the audience. Can you let me know if you hear me, please? So I can either unhook my microphone or keep using it, one or the other. So, got a good list of questions to ask myself, I guess, tonight. So, oh, it's still 22. Yeah, that's not that warm considering how hot we were. I mean, we got up to, I think it was 38 Celsius yesterday. So 22 was pretty cool. You can hear me? Perfect. Good. I will keep the microphone on. So happy Saturday, Leona 1959. I don't know. Are you new to one of my lives or am I just, as usual, have a terrible memory and can't remember? And hello, Marnie. Thank you for coming. I have some peace and quiet for a few minutes. My boys, my husband and son, took the two dogs for a good run down at the ball field. Good. It's just been feast or famine here. We are either so hot we can't. I feel like I'll burst into flames if I go outside. I shouldn't say that. Last week we had beautiful temperatures. It wasn't too hot. It was quite nice quite a few days, and I was able to be out in the garden quite a bit. So, oh, thank you. Have you been to one of my lives though? And I appreciate you following me. So, we're getting excited. We're getting ready to leave for New York soon. No, I don't trust my memory at all. Chemo left me with a lot of memory loss, and it's terrible. So, okay, see, all right. I guess my memory's not too bad. Welcome, Joe. Welcome. I'm trying to get better about doing lives again. I just find evenings are actually harder for me. I'm a morning person. Like I wake up, I'm usually pretty much raring to go. I find by 3-ish, my energy starts going down. In the wintertime, I'm in my pajamas by 5, 6 o'clock at night. Like I'm done for the day typically. So, yeah, but I know evenings are more convenient typically for people who watch, and I want people to watch, and I know a lot of people said, oh, you can, people can watch the replay, but if I don't have a particular topic or somebody else to talk with, it's kind of death when nobody is in the chat. So yeah, so I'm trying to get better. I am trying to do I'm definitely doing 3 videos a week, which I've been doing 3 for a while now, but I've even tried to do 4, but if I can't get 4 videos, I'm definitely trying to go live. So if I get 3 videos and do 1 live. So I live in Peterborough. Oh, no, see, yeah, you're not that far from us. We go to Peter, and today it broke. It broke sometime last night, actually, our heat. So maybe that's what's coming your way tomorrow. I totally understand. I have 1 autistic child and 1 child with Tourette syndrome, so I totally understand. So I'll just give everybody a couple more minutes, and I'm going to have a little bit more cup of tea. And I just thought this would be fun. I just went on the internet. And I actually found a site that said 100 questions to ask somebody to get to know them. And I'm like, seriously? I'm not going to answer that many. But what I really liked is it actually gave me some ideas for topics for future lives. So I'm like, why didn't I think of that before? So I'm pretty happy that I found that. So I have some interesting ones, and if you all have any questions, for the most part, I'm an open book. There's a few things if I don't want to answer, I'll just tell you I won't answer. But for the most part, I'm an open book. So if anyone has any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments, and I will do my best to get to them. Oh, now we're up to 6 people. We're getting there. We're getting there. So, oh, my garden is finally starting to produce more than herbs. I picked not enough to can, but I've frozen them until I can. Quite a few beans yesterday, so that was exciting. I have a lot of butternut squash coming. 2 were rotting on the tip. I had to pick them and give those to the chickens yesterday, so I was a little disappointed. They were small, but they were rotting on the tip of them, the end of them. So I don't know if that's too much water or what, but yeah, I was a little disappointed. And I've started pulling up most of my lettuces so I can start getting carrots. I was really torn because we love having salads, but boy, we've been eating a lot of salads. And I eat them even more than anyone else in the family, and I'm getting a little tired of them. And I'm like, do I keep letting the lettuces grow so I can harvest more, or should I get my carrots in? I want to get my carrots in. So ideally, I probably need, I say 2 more garden beds, but really I probably need 4 more. So we'll see how next year goes. But so I'm hoping to get carrots. I hope to get them in the ground tomorrow. We're leaving in pretty soon for our trip to New York. We're so excited to go for a couple of days. We haven't been really anywhere in a very long time. So at least as a family. So we are excited to go. And it's a very short trip, which is perfect. So I'm trying to wait till 7:10. It's 7:08, so I'm going to wait for 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to answer my first question, which is kind of interesting. The first question, I'll give you a hint. The question has to do with my name and my the name of my channel. Neighbor's beagle next door must have seen something because he is just a howling out there. Hi, Jean. How are you? I am doing pretty good, actually. Things have been pretty good here. We're in vacation mode here as of yesterday, so we're all pretty happy. We're hoping to do a movie tonight. Guardians of the Galaxy's a new movie. We all pretty much like it, so that's rare to find something all 4 of us like to watch. So I'm looking forward to that. And we're not a big fan of going to the theater. It's kind of how David justified getting the bigger TV a couple of years ago, because we don't go to the theaters. For me, with my vertigo, theaters are difficult for me to watch movies in, and they're difficult more for Grace. Aiden can handle going, but yeah, that it's just, and for 4 of us to go to the theater, it's before we don't buy anything usually there. It's over $100. Like, that's just, they're going to price themselves right out of business. And I used to feel guilty because, I mean, plus I have 2 kids who have dietary issues. So we would have to snacks. And a lot of times we would tell them, look, we have 2 special needs kids who have special needs for snacks, and they wouldn't bother us. But I'd always try and buy a water at least. The last time we did that, 4 waters cost us, I think it was $22. Never again. Never again. So yeah, we just rent them or buy them or whatever right through streaming, or we wait for the DVD because they all come out pretty quick now. So tonight is actually going to be streaming. We're going to be streaming the movie. I don't know how much of a vacation it's going to be because both the dogs have got to go with us. So that might be a bit exhausting, but we'll see how we do. I love the name of your channel. We all have things that we want to do. Yeah. Want, need, dream, different ones. So, okay. So my first question I found is actually, like I said, it's pretty fitting. It is, what is on your bucket list? Now, as most of you know, our homestead, Bucket List Homestead, is actually named after a bucket list we made when I was going through my very first chemo treatment. And we made a list of things that we wanted when I was better, not if. And quite a few of those things we have fulfilled. There's still a few left. So the ones that are left is Ireland. I love, I can't, that is like top of the list now for bucket list is to go to Ireland. Even with my vertigo and flying being difficult, I'm planning on medicating myself so I can get through the trip. We're supposed to be going for our 30th wedding anniversary next month. And I joke, but I don't joke. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Both our children are walking around with Ireland in their mouths. They both got braces within a year of one another, and it pretty much wiped out all of our savings and things. So, yeah, that's Ireland. So now we're hoping for our 35th wedding anniversary to go to Ireland. And hi, Lori. Thank you for watching, a fellow Mainer, a maniac. So happy that you were able to join. So Ireland, Banff here in Canada is one of my places I would love to go see, even in winter. I don't mind if it's winter or summer. Winter is probably better. David actually has flown over Banff several times and sent me pictures, and it's just like take your breath away, bring tears to your eyes, beautiful. So Banff is a place I want to go. Montana in the United States is another place I would love to go. I don't know why, but ever since I was a little girl, I have wanted to go to Montana. And the last thing that's on my bucket list is a donkey. Seriously, if we are lucky enough to move, our plan now is to move in 5 years, back down east, if we can find the right property and everything. And I'm hoping I can have at least, 2 donkeys, because they're a herd, pack animals, so they need to have at least 2. I wouldn't mind having maybe just a couple of mini donkeys, but that is on my bucket list. I would love to have a donkey. So, and that's pretty much it. I think everything else on my bucket list, we've been fortunate enough for the most part to cross off. So another question I got, this one was easy. I didn't even have to think about this one. What are you most thankful for? My family, my husband, and my 2 children. As part of my prayers every night, I thank God for them. Every single night, I thank God for them. So that one was easy. This one. What is your biggest regret in life? I will tell you that David is the first one to tell you he truly doesn't have a lot of regrets, because he doesn't believe in them, because he thinks if you change something, you wouldn't be where you are, and where we are right now is pretty good. So I admire that about him, but I do have some regrets. Hold on. I am going to go. Why donkeys? Something about them I've just always loved. And I will tell you, I think a lot of it is because I loved Winnie the Pooh. I loved Winnie the Pooh. But who I loved the most was Eeyore. I identified with Eeyore. I still do. And honestly, if we get a donkey, if we get 2 or one of them is going to be named Eeyore. So that is probably why. Donkeys, I just love them. I just love them. So what streaming services? It is Google Movies has the new Guardians of the Galaxy. So I am 64 years old. I adopted my granddaughter. Now I remember you, Leona. I remember one of your comments on one of my videos. You mentioned that you adopted your granddaughter. She'll be 18 in September. She is a severe fight. Yes, my bucket list has always been. That would be. I forgot. I mean, that is something. My parents want to do the Alaskan cruise. They've done a couple other cruises, but they'd love to do the Alaskan one. It sure does look beautiful. So I agree with David. So my biggest regret in life. I have a lot, because I don't think you've lived a life unless you've had regrets. But I picked 2. First one is that we weren't able to homestead sooner. And when I say that, I've always felt like we've homestead. I didn't know that's what it was called, because even when we were living in military housing, I grew what I could And what I couldn't grow, I canned a lot. I canned all the time, even living in military housing. I always, baked a lot of things, made a lot of things from scratch. So I kind of was, but I wish had been able to be in a position to be able to buy the place we have now and do it even more when the kids were still small enough. But we weren't in the position to afford it then. And like my husband said, it wouldn't have been this place if we had found something sooner. So that's when, but I think probably my biggest regret is that I did not homeschool my children. It didn't even enter my thought process when I was having children. I think it's not that I don't think it was as popular. I just don't think there was as much. I mean, my children, Gracie was born before social media. Aiden, I was literally pregnant with him when Facebook came out. So, I mean, there wasn't, we didn't have this kind of community and able to talk to other people from different parts of the United States, Canada, and around the world. So it just didn't. And let's face it, we're pretty much taught that we can't teach our children, that we can't homeschool. Like it's really discouraged. So if I had to do it again, I would homeschool my children. I absolutely would, especially after getting their diagnoses of knowing with the autism and the Tourette's. I think for Grace especially, school would have been a whole different ball game for her. Would have been a whole different ball game if she'd been able to be homeschooled. So, oh my goodness. So this is last year was my first year I got any onions. I got 5, and you think I had gotten 5 bushels. I was so excited. This year, knock on wood, they're doing really, really well. I think I might even have a couple I'm going to pull after our trip. All I can say is I don't know. I just planted them in pots this year. They're not in the ground. Mine are all in pots or in some of the raised beds. I did fertilize them a little bit, and they get watered every single night. Other than that, I'm only my second year, and I don't even know if they're successful yet, but second year with the onions. So as for growing peppers, growing peppers is a hit and miss. So far this year, it looks like it's going to be a hit. Now, I say that, and I had to pick 2 that something was eating yesterday. So I sprinkled diatomaceous earth on everybody yesterday, which I'm glad I did it when I did it because it rained today. I hope something got on it to help with the pest. I don't top mine. A lot of people top their bell peppers when they go out, like cut off the tops. But my research has said that if you don't have a long growing season for peppers, like where you can grow them into October, which I can't, you shouldn't top them, because if you top them, it slows them down. If you've got time for them to catch up, that's fine, but I don't. So that's one thing I don't do. I do fertilize them with just oh my goodness, I left it outside. Job's organic vegetable garden fertilizer. That's what I use, and it seems to be doing really well. Other than that, I don't know what else. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I do? Sometimes I feed them Epsom salt. I put a couple tablespoons of Epsom salt in a watering can and fill them up, and I feed them that too because they like the magnesium, and maybe your soil might be lacking magnesium. Well, all of our soil in North America is lacking magnesium. It's the number one mineral, I guess, nutrient that we're deficient in North America because our soils are just so, stripped of it. Trying to think if there's anything else. And I only plant peppers with peppers. I know you can plant them with a lot of like companion plants. I have no luck when I do that. So my beds are just peppers. I've got 2 beds that have just pepper. No, that's not. One of my beds has got onions in them this year. I thought I'd take a risk and try it, and knock on wood, they seem to be doing okay. The other bed is all peppers. It's only peppers. So I hope that helps her. Like I said, I don't consider myself an expert gardener. My style of gardening is I plan as much as I can. I read as much as I can. I plant and I pray. I pray and I pray. That's basically what I do. I plant and I pray that things go well. That's my gardening style. Okay. Next question. What are you most afraid of? So there's two things that that scare me. One can keep me up at night. One just scares me physically. I can't stand them. That's snakes. I can't. And Grace is petrified. She can't even see them on the TV and she screams. I'll admit I will turn my channel real quick because I don't like looking at them. But I do not like snakes. I do not like snakes at all. Oh, here we go. Biggest tip with onions is plant them as early as you can. How did I do my? Oh, I started onion from seed this year and I didn't have any luck. I end up buying starts. I think I'm trying to think. Let me see. May I go back here to April and May? I tried some from seed. I had a few that succeeded, but not nearly as many as I wanted. So I end up buying them from starts too. So I know a lot of people have a hard time with them from seeds. So I don't know if she started them from seed or starts. But yeah, I've had a hard time with starting them from seeds. So snakes, I'm definitely most afraid of. And the other thing I'm afraid of is my children not being happy. Like that can keep me up at night. So those are two things that I am afraid of. What do I feel most passionate about? Women's health. Ladies, I want you to listen to me. If you do not take care of yourselves, you cannot take care of anybody. I'm going to say it again. If you do not take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anybody. It is not selfish to take care of yourself. It is not selfish to make sure you are healthy. It's very, very important. So, women's health, and I'll say this for women and men, nobody knows your body better than you. You are the one carrying it around every day. You are the one living in it. If you feel like something is wrong, you yell, scream, holler, whatever you're going to do till you get the right person to listen to you. If you feel like something is wrong, 99.9% chance it is. You know your body better than anybody. So that is something I'm very passionate about. And I try to get them, spread the word as much as I can and tell all my women friends to take care of themselves. Get checkups. You know what I'm talking about. Get your checkups. If you're not feeling well, make an appointment. Just please take care of yourself. And obviously my other things I'm passionate about is gardening and growing your own food. If you're new here, that might shock you. If you're not, then you'll know. Those are some things I'm passionate about. Yes, put them in. Yeah, I got mine. That was probably one of the very first things I planted was my onions into the garden. Are you doing more meat birds next year? Yes, we are. We are definitely going to. We're going to try and break it up. I think the earliest we can get meat birds here is May. I was hoping we could get them in April. I'm going to see. We're going to shop around and see if there's other places we can order them from that will get them sooner. So we're hoping to do some in April, June, July, September. So we're hoping to do enough so we can get quite a few, basically for the year, what we would need for a year. We figure we need an average of anywhere from 35 to 40 for a year. So I will say we had one of our first chickens for supper last Sunday, and maybe it's all in my head. I don't know, but I found it was tastier, and the kids said that they notice a difference in a good way. I don't know if it's in our heads or not, but it was delicious. We are really happy. So we got some other plans on the horizons with chickens. I don't want to say too much. I guess that's kind of a tease because we're still in the planning stages and investigating some more. And also, if you're new here, Lynn loves to do her research. I research before I jump into something. So keep a lookout for that. I'm hoping to announce something maybe soonish for that. But yeah, we're pretty excited about something that might be on the horizon there. How do you like to spend your free time? What free time? That's not true. There are times when I definitely have some downtime, but I am no good just being. Do you know what I mean? Like even when we sit to watch the movie tonight, I will be crocheting something while we watch the movie. I'm no good at just being. When I read a novel, I can totally sit and just read the novel and be. But other than that, I'm not too good at just being. So a lot of my free time I like to spend reading, crocheting, crafting. I love crafting, and I have so many craft projects on the go right now. Baking. I love to bake. Definitely. One of the questions was, what is your love language? And I'd have to say baking. I like to bake for people. That's definitely my love language. And gardening. That's pretty much how. And then if David and I are together our free time, we love to go four-wheeling together. We like to go antiquing together, flea markets, thrift stores, that kinds of thing. I'm very lucky that I'm married to my best friend. That makes a lot easier. So I loved this question. What would your perfect be like? Well, I'm going to get a little comfortable for this. My perfect day would be, first, I would start out where I would be able to sleep in a little bit. But like I said earlier, I'm a morning person, so I wouldn't want to sleep in too much because then I wouldn't have time to do all the things I want to do on my perfect day. So, and then I'd get up, I'd have a leisurely cup of tea with a homemade blueberry scone. And I'd like to have that outside on my deck with absolute quiet, other than like nature sounds. No cars, no kids screaming outside, no lawnmowers going, just peace and quiet, cup of tea, me, and a homemade blueberry scone. After I would get cleaned up and dressed, I would go antiquing. Definitely go antiquing, go to flea markets, go to yarn stores, go to craft stores, and then go have a nice lunch. Probably I'd love to have lunch, especially this time of year, somewhere along the water. I would love that, to go and just sit and have a nice leisurely lunch along the water. And then after that, I'd be so happy. I don't know. I guess that would be my perfect day. I'd be okay with the rest of the day if I have to come home and do whatever, but that would probably, and then come home. I wouldn't have to do any laundry that whole day. That would be nice. I swear people break into my house at night and leave their dirty clothes. If I didn't have to do laundry, I'd probably like to take the dogs for a nice walk. And then read a book for the rest of the day, have a very light supper, read some more, and then go to bed. So that would be my perfect day. Is that boring? But that would be my perfect day. This one was also easy for me to answer. What does your dream life look like? I'm living it. I'm living my dream life. This life was on our bucket list. And as much as I complain about it, and I shouldn't, because we're very grateful that, we're very grateful and blessed that we have our own home and we're able to do what we want. I love our life. We're probably the best we've been right now with our lives. So I would say I am living my dream life. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change my children. I wouldn't change my children for the world, but I wish I could change the world for my children. Yeah, we're pretty happy. I may wish Lily was a little less clingy. Our pup, our dachshund, let's face it, my dachshund. But other than that, I'm living my dream life. There's not a whole lot I would change. So now I'm going to take a break. If anyone has some questions. Sorry, I meant to say, do you have a good way for keeping garden vegetables good to eat for long term? We would like to jar them, but we have been blanching them and freezing them. So my for long term, like you mean like canning? So like my beans and stuff, until I get enough to can, I don't even blanch them. I wash them really good. I snap off all the ends. I snap them into the size I want. We like ours cut up. So I already have them already done. I wait till they're dry. I throw them in Ziploc bags and I freeze them till I get enough to can them. I've done this, pressure can them. I've done this the last couple of years, have had no issues. I find they actually taste better doing this. So I don't blanch them. A lot of ways I am doing a lot of long-term vegetables this year is I'm dehydrating a lot of I'm just writing that down, Jean. Hold on. I'm dehydrating a lot of my vegetables this year. Copycat. Sorry, I can't write and talk at the same time. I'd love to have a freeze dryer. Like that is on like a long-term goal. So I'm not sure good to eat for long-term. Other than canning them or freezing them or dehydrating them or freeze drying them, you cannot, I mean, I'm not sure what other ways. I will say I like my beans canned more than frozen, and the family likes them canned more than frozen. I actually like them anyway. Frozen, raw, cooked, steamed, canned. I like yellow and green beans, but the family definitely prefers me when I can them versus when I freeze them and steam them. Aiden doesn't seem to mind the yellow beans steamed. Carrots, we definitely like better canned versus frozen. We're not a big fan of that. Again, I shouldn't say we. I'm going to say they because I like carrots either way, but the family definitely seems to like them more. Gracie actually likes hers raw, but because of braces right now, she can't eat raw carrots. So she has been eating them more canned and she doesn't like it. She finds them too mushy. She definitely likes her raw carrots. I'm trying to think what else I'm growing. Oh, squash, like what did I do last year? Butternut squash and my pumpkins. I puree them and freeze them. Unfortunately, it's not recommended to can pumpkin at home because our pressure canners cannot get to the temperature that they need to. So I have a lot of puree pumpkin in my freezer. I've been organizing my freezers all weekend in anticipation of the big haul we're going to be doing next week. And I'm glad I didn't grow pumpkins this year. As much as I wish I could have, I'm a little disappointed. But then when I saw that pumpkin puree, it's probably a good thing I didn't grow any because, boy, I guess I just did not go through I had a lot of canned pumpkin and I kind of reached for that more last fall and winter because let's face it, it's easier than waiting for it to unthaw. But are you going to copy? I am going to be doing more copycat recipes. I've been asking the family for more suggestions. And that one, I've always bought it. We'll see. It's a lot of work to do puff pastry, so I don't make it from scratch. I know there's rough puff that's very popular in Britain, which I haven't tried yet, so I might try that. And that might be a copycat because you don't have to, it's not as much work. So we have blanched then frozen, and we would have them soft for eating, most of them. We have lots of them. Continues. That would be, I mean, I'm waiting. I have a lot planted, and the ones I just planted in my video last Sunday, I put that video out. So I planted them last Friday or Saturday. They've all germinated and already growing. I love beans. Love beans. They grow so fast. So they make you feel so successful. Tanya's in the house. Hello. Tanya's in the house. I'm just looking. I mean, I have more questions, but I'll probably wait a few minutes. There's just a couple more that I thought were interesting to. This one was really good. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? I'm going to ask you all that. Put your answer in the comment below. If you could change one thing, actually, I'm going to write it in here and post it. If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change? There. You all tell me. I don't think I can pick one. I guess I would change animal abuse. I wish I could somehow change that. I hate seeing animals abused and abandoned and neglected. I saw real quick, Jess from Roots and Refuge found some abandoned puppies And just a couple of weeks ago, another channel that I love to watch, Cosmopolitan Cornbread, Constance, they had, I think it was 9 puppies they found. Somebody had just dumped them in the woods. 9 beautiful, beautiful, beautiful puppies. They were, and I don't understand how someone does that. So I would certainly love to change that. You know what? I think if that was this case, we wouldn't need to change anything else, because I think that would be a trickle down effect that would just affect so many aspects of life. So that's a good answer. With the garden, you would pay. Yes, Jane, and hello. And I think I forgot to say hi, A. Jorgensen. Yes, that is a great. Or how about the fact that we should stop paying tax on seeds? Okay, that's all I'm going to say here. But yes, that would be a good one. If we have a garden, we'd pay less property tax. That's not going to happen. Ours went up. But yes, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I know, Tanya. When David growing up on the farm, they had animals dumped, it seemed like weekly. Cats, dogs, people just literally figure, oh, they're on a farm, they can take them, and just dump animals all the time. And David's mother is a huge animal lover. She'd keep quite a few of them. She'd keep them for quite a while until she could find homes. Some of them they kept forever, but sometimes she had them for a long time till she found the right homes for them. So it makes you angry that people just think, oh, they're on a farm, they can take care of them. Oh, and we went and got chicken feed yesterday. It's down in price a little bit, but $8. It was $8 less. So I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's that time of year. So, I mean, they're not getting corn yet, I don't think. Maybe they are from, this is a Canadian one that we get it from. But anyway, that was a nice surprise. So very, very happy to see that. So tomorrow's video that's coming out, it's already loaded, is going to be about the chickens in a way, but something that's going to help us be able to leave the homestead for very short periods of time. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I always wanted to be a veterinarian. It seems that has happened, just minus the schooling and minus the pay. Gracie grew up for a long time wanting to be a veterinarian, but then she realized that somebody might bring her a snake, and that was enough for her. That, and she couldn't, I mean, biology was a nightmare for her, biology class. And then she thought she wanted to be a marine biologist. She just loves animals. That's great. She just loves animals. I love animals too, but I don't think I could ever put down a healthy animal just because somebody wanted me to. I could never do that. So we would probably definitely have to live on a farm, because we would probably have tons of animals. And I don't think I could handle like surgeries and stuff. Though I gotta say, I did a lot better with the chicken dispatching than I thought I would do. So that kind of surprised me. So maybe I would be able to. I don't know. But yeah, the pay would be nice. Holy man, oh man, that's, and it makes me mad because only rich people shouldn't be allowed to have animals. That is not fair. And it's crazy how expensive. And can I just say, around here, we have within a, let's say, okay, we'll say within a 20-minute drive, we have no less than, I think somebody said it was 30 vets in a 20-minute drive. And yet, do you know how hard it is to get into one right now? It is crazy. It is hard for the animals to get in to see a vet as it is humans to get a doctor here right now. And none of the vets around here, not one, will look at chickens. Not one. So it's kind of disappointing. So we need some more farm veterinarians is what we need. We need more Dr. Poles is what we need. And who's the other people we like to watch? Oh, they're in Nebraska. Heartland Vets, the husband and wife veterinarians that do mostly vet, farms. We need more of them around here. So, oh, anyone else have any questions? Let me see if I have another question. That was fun. I want to ask you. Oh, here's a good one. Would you prefer a job you hate with a high salary or a job you love with a low salary? My father always told me if you loved your job, then it wasn't really working, and you shouldn't always. But it's hard because I remember I think it was Barbara Walters who said pick a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And it's like that's not fair because sometimes you got to take a job just to put food on the table. So, but this is fun. We're just playing for fun. So if here would you prefer job you hate? So I'm going to post that. Oh, A. Jurgensen already said a job you love. Marnie says a job you love. I got a couple good ones. This is fun. I have a couple more I think I might ask you all instead of me answering them. I think I'd have to say a job you love because I kind of am. That's what I do. I'm a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife, homesteader, and I don't get paid for any of it, at least not in a salary. So, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So, yeah, I guess my answer would be a job you love too. I mean, there's very few people who, I shouldn't say few, but I'm sure there are people out there who have a job they love and it pays well. So, I'll give anybody else a chance if they want to answer that before I ask. I have maybe two more we'll ask before we wrap it up tonight. There's one more I wanted to. Oh, that one might be a good one I might ask you. It's interesting. I didn't know how to answer this question. So, and things that are coming up soon in August, we'll be doing another She-Steaders with hopefully a different group of ladies. Not that the first group weren't lovely and wonderful, they were, but I'm hoping to give everybody, like I have quite a few people who said they'd like to be part of it. So that one's going to be about dealing with burnout and exhaustion. So that's going to be coming soon in August. I'm also hoping to get my two special guests I wanted to get on when my eyes went all wonky. I'm hoping to get back to them so we can get them on. And I'm also possibly going to tour a 50-acre homestead that's not too far from here. That's run by a lovely lady and her husband. So I'm hoping that's going to be happening soon, maybe even next week. You won't see the video for a little bit, but yeah, I'm hoping that will be coming soon. So lots of stuff coming. And I'm also participating in the Every Bit Counts Challenge, in August with that Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead host. I did it last year and I was shocked. I remember the first 2 weeks of the videos, I kept saying, I feel like I don't have a lot to show you because nothing's growing here yet. We're so behind. And all I had were herbs and things. And then bam, the last 2 weeks of August hit and I couldn't keep up with things. And at the end of the month to see how much I had preserved every day for the month of August was amazing. So I've already started a little early because we're going to lose 2 days in August because Dave and I are celebrating our anniversary. But yeah, so I'm going to be participating in that. And because I have good internet, okay, hear me out. This is my plan. I'm hoping to post every day what I preserved. So there'll be a video pretty much every day for the month of August showing what I'm preserving every day because my internet is so fantastic now. I can upload, especially something like that won't be very long. I can upload what I'm doing every day. Before, I would have to do a whole week's worth, try and fit it all into no more than 20 minutes because anything more than that, even 20 minutes took forever, but more than 20 minutes took days to upload. This way I can actually. So I'm hoping we'll see if we can do it. So ecocentric. I would say the job I love, but if the job isn't giving enough to buy the necessity, it isn't serving its purpose. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, knock on wood. I seem to have resolved the issue. I uploaded 2 videos in less than 45 minutes today for all next week. So it seemed to be the way I was saving them that was causing the problem. I still don't know why it's causing the problem, because the way I was saving them is the preferred way for YouTube, but whatever. I don't know what's working. So, but yeah, that's what I said. If wouldn't we all love to be able to have a job and it paid well that we absolutely loved? But sometimes, I mean, I've taken jobs that I didn't necessarily like. A lot of jobs I didn't like because I needed the paycheck. So yeah, sometimes you got to do what you have to do. So this is a question that I thought was interesting. I didn't even know how to answer it. I mean, this comes with I grew tomatillos for the first time last year. I never even had them, but I saw them and I thought, I got to try these. They weren't bad, but I didn't grow any this year. So I did grow them. They didn't produce as much as I wanted. I didn't get a huge amount of tomatillos. Now, I planted them in pots and maybe I shouldn't have. But they didn't do great for me. We also had a very cold beginning of summer last year. So I don't know if that had a lot to do with it, but I did definitely have some, but I didn't care for them. They weren't they were okay, but I didn't care for them. And they were flowers, if I remember correctly. They were flowers for quite a while before I started getting them. But it was just too cold here last year. And I'm glad I didn't this year, because this spring wasn't any better. So hello, Melissa. Thanks for stopping by. Canning some salsa. I'll be glad. I think I'm down to 4 jars. So, and I haven't been using them on purpose because I knew I was down. So that's one thing I'm hoping to can some more of this year too. I'm the only one who eats it, so I can them in smaller jars. But yeah, my plants are huge, just not much else. I wish I knew more. I don't know enough about tomatillos. If anyone in the chat knows anything about tomatillos, like I just grew them as a experiment last year and to try them, kind of like the ground cherries, which took off fantastic, and we didn't like them. So some friends gave me some garden. Oh, nice. And I didn't plant zucchini because we do not like zucchini in this house unless I bake with it. We're not big like eaters of zucchini. Aiden actually loves my double chocolate zucchini bread. He loves them. So last year I just bought a couple from our local farmer who I'm getting the potatoes from this year. And they were huge. And I I shredded them and I froze them in my muffin tin. So I had them all nice little pucks and put them in a Ziploc bag. I completely forgot. And I almost bought 2 zucchini today, but we forgot. And I was going to go get them tomorrow. Cleaning out the freezers, I found the whole giant Ziploc bag full of these zucchini that I froze last year. So I don't think I'm going to buy any zucchini and freeze it, because apparently I didn't even use what we had last year. So, and it's not freezer burned because I vacuum sealed it. So it's all perfectly fine. So I told Aiden when we get back from vacation, I'm going to make a double chocolate zucchini bread. So he's pretty happy. So yeah. So, oh, the tomatillos. And then you had, I don't know what your, I can't remember what your zone is. If you can help A. Jorgensen there. Yeah, grew them and gave all away. Yeah, like I said, it's just not, we don't use enough of them to grow them, because I know that's one thing. And usually David will get a few free from work, because someone at work usually is always growing zucchini. So I know not to bother taking up any of my garden space. So zucchini salsa, I've never heard of that. I know you can make mock pineapple, is it, with zucchini, which I've never heard tell of before until last year. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So if you have a lot of zucchini, that might be something you could do. Mock pineapple. Oh, see, I'm in 5B. I don't know, Melissa. I'm not sure I know you get a lot of snow in the winter. So I'm not sure what zone she is. But I'm 5B, so I don't know if that, and I think I was pushing it growing them in 5B. Pickled green beans. My parents love pickled green beans, like love them. I honestly have never had them because I love my pickled beans enough that I love my beans enough that I'm happy eating them that way, the way we eat them. But my parents love pickled green beans. Like every garden season, Mom mentions pickled green beans. I'm not mailing you pickled green beans to Florida. Oh, Tanya, and guess what? I forgot to tell you today. Guess what? I did yesterday. Yep, I mailed out the parcel, the package to Raylyn. So it's on its way. I actually did it. Good thing I did it before that baby turned 1. And I almost had to sell one of the kids to pay for the postage. Absolutely ridiculous. The zone I used to live in was 7. Yeah, so that makes sense that you were able to grow tomatillo so well in zone 7. I have done zucchini relish. Oh, that is not a bad idea. Zucchini relish, because my cucumbers are nowhere near. They're just teeny tiny babies. They say you can make relish with zucchini. Yeah, if I had a freeze dryer, maybe I could do that. So, yeah, I think so. I think it's just not warm enough. And even my zone, and like I said, it was so cold, and the beginning of this year was no better. So they probably wouldn't have done great this year either. Nice. I'm just so proud of myself. It actually went out, and well, I put it purposely in our way. Like it was in our way. So I'm like, that's it. I have to get this out of here. So I knew that's what would happen. So I put it near the door in our way. So I had no choice but to get it in the mail. So, 63 days. Are you growing tomatillos in that zone now, or was your old zone you were growing them in? Yeah, I've thought about dehydrating them too. What did I dehydrate last year? I dehydrated cucumbers last year, and that did not go so great. Did not care for them. Did not care for them. I do plan on dehydrating a lot more tomatoes this year because I have so much tomato sauce still from last year. I guess we just didn't eat a lot of pastas and stuff over the winter last year. So I have a lot of tomato sauce. So I'm not going to make a whole bunch this year, but I am thinking about, because I end up planting a bunch of tomato plants, even though I said I wasn't gonna. And they're all doing amazing, which is hysterical. So I am looking at dehydrating a lot of my tomatoes this year. I tested a few last year and I liked it for like powdering up and thickening up sauces. So I'm going to do that. So yeah, I've seen how zucchini flower is really popular right now. Really popular. I might have to try it and video it and see what we all think of it. No tomatillos here. Lucky. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I think what we've all learned is even in my zone 5B, maybe there are people who can, but I could not do tomatillos. I am all out of tomatoes. Wow. I've got a lot of green ones. Like I'm hoping I'm going to see something in the next couple of weeks, but we're still a ways out. Okay, my last question for you all. I thought this one was interesting. What was the biggest favor you've ever done for someone else? I just found that. I don't know why. It was amazing. I don't know. It just was. What was the biggest favor? I'll just put that up there and we can keep chatting. I can't believe I've been almost an hour. And the boys, I know they're going to be coming back soon with those dogs, so I don't have much longer to go. Oh, we notice it's getting darker and darker here, but you know what? I actually don't. I love fall. Fall is my jam. Other than I love my garden. I do miss my garden, but I love fall. Love it, love it, love it. It's my season. I mean, I was born in the fall. Grace was born in the fall. So we're fall babies and we both love fall. Just love it. I love the colors. I love the smells. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. You can drink tea a lot of times and stuff like that. So I notice it's getting darker a lot sooner. Oh my goodness. Don't you watch those court shows? You never ever are supposed to do that. Because if they get in an accident and hurt or, God forbid, kill someone, guess who gets sued? You. Take care of someone's child for 2 years. Wow, Melissa. God bless you. That is, wow. I don't even know what to say other than God bless you. That is an amazing favor. Wow. Yeah, I was going to grow them I was not going to grow any, but apparently I forgot to tell myself that when I ordered a whole bunch of seeds from M.I. Gardener. I bought some for some reason, and so I had to plant them. So I really am not going to plant any next year. This will be the year we eat a ton of tomato sauce. So I'll have to. Super, yeah, stupid, exactly. Stupid kids. I wasn't sure. Good thing. Oh, you know what? I think that's there's probably something I would change. I would get rid of the drugs in this world, like these, because they're just. I mean, it's definitely affected my family personally. It's horrible. It's just drugs are, and it's just they're awful. They're just awful, and the way to destroy homes and families and lives, and I am not a fan. So I think I'd change my answer almost to get rid of the drugs. She had 4 kids. Oh my goodness. Did they eventually were able to go back to her? That's a big favor. Boy, you all done some big favors. I'm trying to think. I think the biggest favor I did was when a friend had another child that had to go to the hospital, and I, had them and fed them supper, and I didn't mind and all that. I think that was like the biggest one I could think of. I'm trying to think of any others. Oh, I did not know that, Melissa. I am so sorry. Oh, they're just, my sister is, she's in recovery now. But since she's 45, since she was 15, she's been battling them, and just the toll it's taken on my parents, to see what they've gone through and what her own children have gone through because of her slides back. They're just awful. Just awful. Good night. Thanks for coming. Have a great weekend. My heart goes out to you. It really does. Just terrible. The chaos that they cause, it's awful. Yep, we need to get rid of them. Well, I'm glad she's sober now, but it's always the kids that suffer a lot too. So, and it's a terrible, terrible disease. Congratulations, John. That's wonderful. I know my home state of Maine has got I mean, well, my sister has got a major problem with the drugs. So definitely hats off to you and congratulations. That's wonderful. Helping people move is my biggest favorite. That's a big favor. David's helped a few people move. Congrats, John. There you go. That's awesome, John. So I'm so yeah, they just do. They're just no, but hey, you're sober, right? You're sober. So like they say, one day at a time, one step at a time. You know, I'm my hat's off to you. My sister's in recovery right now too. I think she's what year are we in? We are 2023. My mother was here. I think she's a year again, a little over a year now into the recovery this time. She went quite a long time, but people she hangs with, right? But she's in recovery now and she's trying. But I've certainly seen what it's done to my nieces and nieces and nephews. I have two of each with my sister, and how it's affected them. So it's there's so many reasons why it's happening. And for my sister, she started out by self-medicating because she had a lot of mental illness that didn't get diagnosed for a very long time, and she was self-medicating even as a teenager. I mean, also too, the crowd she was hanging around didn't help. But yeah, I just, I mean, even though she's been in recovery for a year this time, my mother still like waits for that phone call saying that they got her. They got her too. So they are just awful. I think they're a lot like the depression, right? They lie to you. Depression lies to you and tells you that you're worthless, that everyone will be better off without you. Just go ahead and do it. Like depression lies big time. Drugs lie too, right? Drugs tell you that they're going to make your life better. They're going to take away all your pain and your problems until you sober up, and then the pain and your problems are still there. So yeah, I guess I should say there's one other thing I'm passionate about is also mental health, and having a veteran husband who has, certainly some things, and two children who are neurodivergent. And there's also some mental health that goes along with that. I myself have some mental health that I deal with, some before cancer, some since cancer. And they keep saying there's no stigma anymore, but there's still such a stigma with mental health. There still is. And even now, just even talking about it, my palms are sweating just because I don't really talk about it a lot in my videos, because I am nervous about the stigma and stuff. So yeah, it like that is and it's just, we don't help enough people in our countries with mental health. They keep saying they're getting better, but I certainly don't see any signs of that at all. And then there's not enough people, not enough doctors, not enough counselors, not enough psychiatrists, not enough medical doctors to go around. So I go through a place called Groups Recovery, and it's all on Zoom. And I started ours because of self. Yes, see? And I bet you a lot of people start because of self-medication from mental health problems. Absolutely. Yep, exactly. And in my sister's case, because she started so young, it froze her brain, right? And I remember, I think of all places, it was Dr. Phil years ago. He was talking about how, they had parents on there who were so mad because their 20-something daughter was still acting like she was 14. And he said, well, her brain is still 14. it got frozen at 14 from the drugs, and she's only been off them 2 years. So he said it takes a long time for that brain to heal. And when he said that, it was like a great big giant light bulb went above my head. And I literally called my mother and told her, you have got to watch Dr. Phil today or record it, because the way they were talking, it could have been my sister sitting up on that stage. So it definitely, your decision making, all that, like it definitely does. And when you're younger starting, that really gets damaged. You get brain damage. And yeah, so but yes, definitely keep going. We're all rooting for you. I'll say a prayer for you tonight, and yeah, we're rooting for you. So she was 8. Oh, Jean. She was getting them in school. Wow. That's just, and I'm glad you can do it over Zoom. I think if that's one thing, the craziness of 2020 changed, is they did change a lot of that kind of stuff where you can do things virtually now. Heck, we've got 2 clinics here where there's no doctor. It's all virtual. You go in and you see them on a screen, but I guess it's better than no doctor. So my daughter's dad family has 11 kids, only 3 left. Oh my goodness. That's terrible. Well, I pray that she keeps sober too, Jean. So there's my crew back. Lily's at my feet. Did you wear them out? We're hoping it wears her out. So, guys, I guess our live took a little bit of a turn, but don't they always? I don't know of anyone who stays on the same track, but that's what I like about these. You never know what you're going to talk about, and you don't know what's going to help somebody, right? So we were going to wrap this up so we can go watch our movie as a family. And please look for tomorrow's movie, tomorrow's video. I think it's set for 10 a.m. Eastern. I got to double check. I'm pretty sure it's 10 a.m. To see what we are doing. So hopefully we can continue. Aiden photobombing me there. Aiden sighting. Make sure you check that out to see what we've come up with. He thinks he's so funny. So we can hopefully leave the homestead. And I just want to say, Aiden became a G1 driver yesterday, which here in Ontario means it's a driver's permit, which is what we would call it in the States. You have to have it for a year here before you can go for your license, but he got it yesterday. So my baby is going to be driving a car. That doesn't seem possible. So yeah, so that happened. So lots of good stuff happening here this week. So I am grateful. And I will wish you all a great weekend. Hopefully we'll be back next Saturday. We'll see. It's a crazy week next week between our trip away and then just some things we're trying to get done while David's off. So I will try my best. I promise. Till then, have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. God bless. We'll see you all soon.